So lately I've been looking into Irish myth and legends. Thousands of years ago, a godlike race known as the Tuatha Dé Danann came to Ireland. They brought with them 4 magical treasures that are mentioned in early Irish literature. These treasures include the Stone of Destiny, the Invincible Spear, the Shining Sword, and the Cauldron of Dagda. The Tuatha Dé Danann are said to have come to Ireland from the north of Europe. They are represented as large, strong and beautiful beings that mingled with mortals and yet remained superior to them. They were believed to be a race of gods or demigods with supernatural powers, human traits and personalities, and a large variety of skills in arts, crafts, music, language, love and war. There were also druids among these people. In the Annals of the Four Masters, also known as the Annals of the Kingdom of Ireland, describe medieval Irish history and were compiled by monks. The story of the Tuatha Dé Danann, a mythical race of godlike beings with supernatural abilities, is told in these chronicles. They came to Ireland in the mist or cloud across the sea. Their principal residences were a district along the River Boyne near Leinster, one of the provinces situated in the east of Ireland, and the fairy mound of Femin in Tipperary, in the southwestern part of the country. Each member of the Tuatha Dé Danann has a special significance, skill or capacity, and these sources showed them to be immortal. Prominent members of the Tuatha include Dagda, a chief god associated with fertility, Morrigan, a goddess of war and fate, Nuada, the first king of the Tuatha Dé Danann. Angus was associated with beauty and love, Brigid, a fiery goddess of poetry, and finally Craden, a god of metalworking, who worked with brass and bronze and forged the weapons which the Tuatha Dé Danann used to battle the Fomorians. The Fomorians are also a supernatural race in Irish mythology. They are often portrayed as hostile and monstrous beings who come from the sea or underground. Later, they were portrayed as giants and sea raiders. They are enemies of Ireland's first settlers and opponents of the Tuatha Dé Danann. However, their relationship is complex and some of their members intermarry and have children. The Fomorians have thus been linked to the Jotnar of Norse mythology, so the Fomorians seem to be like the Anunnaki, have been gods who represent the harmful or destructive powers of nature, darkness and death, blight and drought, whereas the Tuatha Dé Danann, in contrast, seem to represent the gods of growth and civilization, like the Pleiadians. The Book of the Taking of Ireland is a collection of poems and prose narratives that purports to be the history of Ireland and the Irish from the creation of the world to the Middle Ages. There are a number of versions, the earliest of which was compiled by an anonymous writer in the 11th century. It tells of Ireland being settled or taken 6 times by 6 groups of people, the first being the people of Cessair, the second the people of Partalon, the third the people of Nemd, the fourth the Firbolg, the fifth the Tuatha Dé Danann, and finally the Milesians. The first 4 groups were wiped out or forced to abandon the island. The 5th group represent Ireland's pagan gods, while the final group represent the Irish people, the Gaels. It is said that during many years the Tuatha Dé Danann ruled Ireland in peace until the invasion of the Milesians, a tribe of people. The Book of Invasions says that the Milesians are the last mythical invaders of Ireland and are the true Gaelic people that arrived on Ireland's shores. The Tuatha Dé Danann tried to fight the invaders. They even created a magical storm in an attempt to drive them away. However, a Milesian poet calmed the sea with his invocation, and then his people landed. The Milesians are Gaels who set sail to Ireland from Hispania after spending hundreds of years travelling the earth. After their confrontation with the Tuatha Dé Danann, the two groups agree to divide Ireland between them. The Milesians take the world above, while the Tuatha Dé Danann take the world below, i.e. the other world. Also, the fairy people of Irish folklore are said to live beneath the hills and are often identified as the remnants of the ancient fabulous race of the Tuatha Dé Danann. So have any of you noticed that the Milesians sound exactly like the Scottish? So this is how the Scottish and Irish are related. They both came from Spain to conquer Ireland and Scotland. The Liber Gabala, which was written in the 11th century AD by Christian monks, purports to be the history of Ireland and the Irish. It tells us that all mankind is descended from Adam through the sons of Noah, and that a Scythian king named Phineas Farsaid, a descendant of Noah's son, is the forebearer of the Gaels. Phineas, a prince of Scythia, is described as one of the 72 chieftains who built the Tower of Babel. His son Nel wed Scota, daughter of an Egyptian pharaoh, and they have a son named Godelb Glass. Godelb crafts the Gaelic language from the original 72 languages that arose after the confusion of tongues. The Gaels leave Egypt at the same time as the Israelites and settle in Scythia. After some time, they leave Scythia and spend 440 years wandering the earth, undergoing a series of trials and tribulations akin to those of the Israelites, who spent 40 years wandering in the wilderness. Eventually, they reach Hispania by sea and conquer it. There, Godel's descendant, Breagan, founds a city called Brigantia and builds a tower from the top of which his son glimpses Ireland. Brigantia refers to Corona in modern-day Galicia in Spain, and the tower is likely based on the Tower of Hercules, which was built at Corona by the Romans. Please like and share this video. If you can, go over to Patreon and help us out. Thank you very much.